So I want to do this quick video. I want to give the people that's watching this video a good tip of a piece of document or instrument, whatever you call it, to use when you are locking properties up or buying real estate properties direct to seller. What direct to seller is basically, you're buying properties for sale by owners, no bank-owned properties, all right? And let me give you a little backstory. So we had this lead, right, that we cold called about 3 or so days ago. The owner was asking $38,000. So with me, that's a good lead because I needed to be around 30 grand for this to be a good deal for me. I was going to buy and hold it. It's going to be a cash flowing deal for me. Probably get about $850 a month. It's just a good deal. All right. So it has an HOA association as well. So that subtracts from the $850. But so my assistant Stacy, a few days ago, set an appointment for my acquisitions guy to go out today to the property. And mind you, we when we're vetting these sellers, we always ask them, hey, do you have any offers on the table? Have you had an offer in the past? And he clearly said no. All right. So we set an appointment for my acquisitions guy to go out today. He went out to the property, took some pictures, video. Everything looked swell. Everything looked good. And I was like, okay, sweet. This possibly gonna be a good deal. So with that being said, I called the seller earlier today, and we got to talking, and he out of nowhere he said, yeah, my investor called me today and said he possibly has an investor. So I was like, okay, so you have a binding contract with somebody? And he was like, oh yeah. I was like, well, you didn't tell us that. And sellers lie, by the way. You just never want to believe a seller. So I'm like, okay, so you have a contract. And he was like, well, yeah, I have a contract with the sellers. The investor, he's wishy-washy. He has investors coming to see the property with uniforms on. Basically, I'm taking it as investors have We Buy Houses or some type of their logo or the company on their shirt. So this clearly is a wholesaler that's trying to shop the property. He said, out of nowhere in this conversation, this is new to me today, that he has a contract with this investor or wholesaler for the past 3 weeks, and he's giving him the runarounds, and his contract expires next week. And I'm like, man, we wouldn't have wasted our time to come out there today if we would have known this. But that's not even the purpose of the video. The purpose of the video is for sellers like this who still shop the deal, and there's plenty of them out there to do this. It's very common. They'll still shop your deal when you have a binding contract with them. So the instrument or document you want to use, especially when the homeowner or the seller is local to the property, they can still go to the property, or even if they live in the property, you want to use this document. It's called a memorandum of contract. All right, the memorandum of contract is a legal sized piece of paper, black ink on white paper, and all it is basically a document where a notary needs to be there in front of each signing, saying that I am selling my property to 123 Main Street, your name, his name, you sign off, he signs off. And this document you take with you, and you can record this document with the city or the county to that property. And you don't have to, but it's still good to have that document, and it gives you the option, as when you have it signed and notarized, to record it for sellers like this. And I'm not in a situation, this is the investor or whoever has it locked up, and it does seem like he's giving the seller the runarounds, because all of a sudden he said he had it for 3 weeks. Basically the story the seller's telling me, he had it on the contract for 3 weeks, different investors coming in and out. And he said today that the investor called him today that he possibly might have an investor. I don't know about that, but anyway, the person who has on the contract should have had a legalized document called the memorandum of contract. And this keeps his seller, or any seller that you have locked up, from selling your deal behind your back to any investor or a cash buyer. All right, and that legal size document, that memorandum, allows you to go to the county or have your title company record that document with the city, and it puts a lien on the property. So if that new cash buyer that snake investor that comes and be like, oh, I'll okay, you have a deal, I'll still offer you way more money, and you have to deal with that lower offer. When that buyer's title company runs title, they're going to see this lien on the property, and in order for that buyer, you know, obviously when you're buying properties, you have to have clear title. They're going to see that lien, and that lien holder, which is the person who the buyer, the investor with the memorandum of contract, they have to sign a release to that memorandum of contract in order for that new buyer who's trying to steal the deal, or the seller who's trying to sell the deal to, they have to sign a release in order to sell that property to the new buyer. All right. And what I like to do in the past, when I only had a release fee one time. All right, I had to do whatever my fee or whatever my profit was. Let's say it was a $10,000 profit that I was going to intentionally make when I had to deal with the seller. I'm going to charge that seller a $10,000 release fee. In order you want to sell it to this guy, you went behind my back and sold it, and got breached the contract and got a new contract with the buyer within our contract. Okay, in order for me to sign a release, I'm going to charge you a $10,000 fee. And that was what my profit's going to be anyway. So that is the purpose of that memorandum of contract. In this situation, this investor should have that, because I don't know who else this seller is shopping this deal around to, but best believe he said that the contract expires in a week. I'm gonna have on our calendar for my assistant to call him in a week, and we're gonna, if that deal didn't perform, we're gonna possibly get this on the contract. I'm shooting for 30 grand, and we're gonna have him sign a memorandum of contract, so he won't be trying to shop the deal. So just to give you guys a tip, go out there, get some deals, and in situations like this when sellers are local, you want to be safe with that memorandum contract. So I'll talk to you soon.